Welcome to the TAOUTDOORS fishing show. I'm here at Old Berry Hill Lake in Dorking. I'm fishing on the way home from dropping the wife off at the airport. She's gone to sunnier climes and I'm here cold, shivering. Conditions are against me. I'm basically just hanging around trying to make the most of the afternoon and catch something like bream or roach or anything. It's what we call in the winter scratching, you know, when you get the conditions against you. Now there's a match over on the other side, some pleasure anglers around as well. And what I'm curious about is I've got my normal summer rigs out, which is a feeder, a pellet, a banded pellet, small banded pellet, a mix of ground bait which I made from a Bailey's #1 horse feed, which is a really good quality one, a smidgen of bran, which in Graeme Pullen's case is a double handful of bran in with it. Mixed it all up, not too wet so it just binds a little bit, and although I don't normally buy it, somebody gave me some halibut pellet all ground up, that powder. But no fish. But listen, when there's pole fishing being done in the winter, it generally outfishes everything else. Now, there's a gentleman fishing further down. He's got a pole like I've never seen before. In fact, if he puts any more sections into it, I think he's going to be back where I left the wife at Gatwick Airport. It's huge. But I've been up there, he's already caught 1 or 2 fish, and a few tips there that in the winter might just help you put the odd fish or two on the bank, because quite honestly, I'm not doing it today. I've had 2 beeps on my buzzers there. It's not going to happen. I feel when you get this rain that's come overnight, and the cold water temperature dropping, and the full moon, and the blazing blue sky but freezing cold, it's not good conditions. And then you've got to start dropping hook sizes, reducing feed. You've really got to know what you're doing, but you can still catch fish. Let's go down and have a chat with him. So how are you fishing that there, Ray? So you get that bream?
I'm just putting micro pellets in there in that little cup, and then feeding with an 8mm pellet over the top of it, underneath it.
And you've just found that they've come on a little bit, you say?
Yeah, they're feeding quite well now. After I put the feeds in for about 2 hours.
And what length are you at there? What are you fishing at there? What sort of?
14 metres.
And about 4 feet, you say there?
14 metres.
Oh, 14 metres out.
That's the far fishing out.
And your depth would be?
About 5 foot. And just tap it in over the top.
So the pellets go straight over the top of the float?
Yeah, and then hopefully the float will go under in the next few seconds, hopefully. Just see the float out there.
I'll zoom right in on it. I can see it absolutely that perfectly, and the cup as well.
It might go under any second, hopefully.
So you've had how many here this morning?
I've had 5 now.
You had 5 all bream, yeah?
Yeah.
So how did you start? Just tell us sort of, you started what, on the inside?
I just started out there, cupped in about 2 cupfuls, and I thought I'd leave that for 2 hours, let it settle. Nothing on the feeder, then came back on the pole again, still nothing. And then as soon as the sun come out, they just came in all of a sudden. And I'm just waiting for the next one. Then I'm just feeding off that little cup on the end now. That's all I'm putting. I'm not cupping that anymore at the moment because it'd be too much.
Really? I mean, it's that refined? They're just that tiny cup?
Much. Yeah, they overfeed them. Yeah, they get overfed otherwise, and they just kill the swim.
And the guys match fishing over the back there, are they producing much?
They've caught a few over there. They're all good anglers there. All of them are all good.
Are they going to be on the pole, you know, in cold weather like this, or they might?
Yeah, they'll all be on the pole. Yeah, float just had a bite then.
Would you say winter conditions, people fishing like this, a pole is going to be far more effective than a feeder, as a general in the winter?
See, because the fish might push out further, so you need to go on a feeder. But then they could come in a little bit, so you need that pole length because they might be 14, 50 metres there. If they're not there, you just go out on the feeder and chase them out.
Now you mentioned about the fact you're using a tiny cup, which I'll show the
Yeah,
viewers in a minute. What would you do with a feeder? How small would you fish a feeder? You have to have a tiny feeder, would you?
You just scale down to about 15 or 20 gram, or even smaller one than that. Depends how cold it is.
Just an open ender?
Yeah, that's all it is. Sometimes with dead red maggot on. They like dead maggots, yeah.
Well, now, because pellets are popular here, would all those guys match fishing over there, would they be likely to be on pellets as well, or would some of them have maggots?
Oh, no, they'll all be on the same.
They'll be on the same feed?
Oh, yeah, everyone a bit. Yeah, I just got a bite then, nearly went under. There it goes. There it goes. Oh, come off.
He bumped, did he?
Yeah, he came off. Yeah.
It's the camera.
I'm on a very low light elastic too at the moment.
What sort of elastics to tell people so they...
Only about a 4 pink. Yeah, on that one, it's still there.
And what's your hook size? And so you know, 18. Beginners and stuff learn.
18.
Any particular make at all?
No, just any 18 will do.
Would they be like spade ends, would they? Or?
Yeah, they always spade ends. Yeah.
I mean, that seems an infinitesimal amount going out there.
Yes, when you filled it halfway. When you filled it halfway. Don't want to overfeed it too much.
It's so long, that pole, it's just as well I've got a zoom lens here. Otherwise it'd be out of camera shot. So that was tapping it out, the bait, yeah?
Yeah, and that's it now. Just let it settle down now and then just wait for it to go under. Sometimes it goes under fairly quick, and sometimes it just don't go under at all. That's why I've lowered my float down a little bit, because I did it a little bit too high. So as soon as I get a bite now, it literally goes straight under.
So your bait is actually like dead level on the bottom, yeah?
Dead depth.
You call that dead depth, yeah?
Dead depth. So it's two pellets dead on the bottom. There's no, it's not even ½ inch over. It's just sitting on the bottom.
What do you do when there's a little bit of ripple or breeze, you know, to give you drift? How would you just go deeper?
Yeah, I'll just do about another inch or 2 inches over, just so it sits on the bottom better.
Tell us how you're fixing those on, mate.
I'm just putting the 18 just on the side of it there and put it through.
So no loop or anything like that, it's a soft pellet, yeah?
These are soft pellets. I pump these up. I'm fishing 8 milks, I'm fishing micro pellets over the top because they just love soft pellets here. Just enough so the hook comes out. I won't feed out in the pot this time because I've got...
Because that bite came so quick, is that the reason?
I've got plenty bait out there at the moment.
It's going on forever and ever.
If you just lift it out of the water a little bit like that, it just triggers the fish off a little bit, and they take it straight away sometimes.
Sort of induces a bite, as it were.
Yeah, they usually take it quite quick.
I saw it go down low then.
It just wouldn't quite go down. It's lifted it up a little bit actually.
There he goes, there he goes, he goes. Is that it?
That's it,
Are you on?
Yeah.
Oh, brilliant. All to camera, my God.
Not that big, but...
It's a fish?
Yeah.
You don't lift that up to like a rod, like I would have rod.
Just lift it out of the water and that's it.
But you're shipping the pole back like...
Yeah, slowly.
And the elastic's taking any shock of a big fish?
Yeah. If it's a bigger one, you just take your time with it more. Take a bit
but
more.
you would never raise the pole then? Only till you get like here?
Yeah.
That's a skimmer, yeah?
Yeah. Take a little one in there.
That'd be sort of average size for skimmers here, isn't it?
No, that's quite small. These go back between 3 and 5 pounds.
Oh, really?
And ones. I put micro pellets in the little cup, but my pellet is about 4 times the size of the pellets I put in, so they target the big pellet first.
What about bubbles at this time of year? You know, sort of winter months. Are you going to see fish bubbling so much? Or
sometimes you see them. Just had a little nibble there again. Yeah, sometimes you might get a few indications that they're there, but it just goes quiet. You've got to find them basically. Sometimes you can come in and not catch nothing.
What match would they be fishing? What length is that match over there? Today, what would they be fishing? A 5 hour or 3 hour? Or?
Be about 4 or 5.
About 4 hours, yeah.
Yeah, it depends on who's organised it all.
So that's going to finish. What time do they start and finish on a regular match?
Could be 3 or half 3 they finish.
And a big summer catch of bream here, what sort of bags would you get? You know, if you're pleasure fishing and they're really on the boil,
Yeah,
what can you expect? 50, 60 pounds?
Between 50 to 100 pound here.
Oh, really?
In the matches they can get about 100 pound in no trouble.
That's float or feeder in the summer though?
A lot of them are on pole.
Really?
Yeah, the
that
pole.
many of them?
That's what catches most of the fish, the pole.
Is it just the accuracy of the pole, the fact that you can feed directly over your float? Is that what makes a pole so successful?
Yeah, you're fishing the size of half the size of a dinner plate really, and you keep it in that same area all day long. You might have 2 lines. You might have one over there,
yes,
and one here. So you might feed ground bait on one and pellets on another one, or sweet corn on another one.
And you switch between the two sort of swims, as it were?
Match, yeah. So if that line's dead, you try the other one over there to see if that one's working. And that one might be better than the one on the right hand side. See how the elastic's come out on that?
Yeah, see, that's the orange of the elastic.
That's the pink hydro diver.
Is there a breaking strain on that elastic like that? You know, does it come under elastic? Or how do you...
Yeah, that's the number 4, I think.
So that would be considered a light elastic, number 4.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a bit of a slab there.
That's a big one, yeah. That's a big one.
That's worth getting on film, I know.
These are the ones I've been trying to catch. That's why I got the 8mm pellets on. That's why I got the 8mm pellets on the elastic coming out.
That just seems weird, bringing it in like that without trying to raise it, as it were. You know?
You got.
But it's that elastic that does the job of the rod being bent, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Why do you keep it low like that, Ro?
That helps get the fish in. If I pull that out.
Oh, I see you're stretching the elastic.
Yeah.
He's coming. He's in. Nearly. Get in there. Good. Well done, Ray. That's a good one. That's a bit better. That's a nice one, that.
That's a lot bigger.
That's what you're here for, isn't it, really?
The size of that one.
Yeah, that's a nice fish, yeah.
Mm.
So in the summer, peak season, you know,
Yeah,
50 pounds of those is not uncommon.
Now going easy. Yeah.
I can see Michael, my son, must not see this film, otherwise he's going to be out there wanting to buy one of these expensive looking poles.
This is about 2,500, this one.
Good God, really?
They go up to about 5,000, 6,000.
Goodness me. So it's all down to the weight of it then, really?
Yeah, this
You know,
is a good one, but you can get a lot better ones than this. This will do for me. I'm going to fill it up this time.
Better make sure you keep it up the right way, does it? Or does it have a little bit of
You see
it?
these red arrows on here?
Oh, the red arrows are there for that reason.
Yeah, so I know the cups, if they stay the same, the cup won't tilt over and I'll lose it all.
Ah. I thought it was something to do with the bend of the blank, you
It
know,
is
as
to
it
keep
were.
it the strength, but it helps keep the pot straight out there.
So you get it out to the required length and then you just tip it over and tap it, I noticed.
Yeah, I've lost it. Sometimes you do lose a few when you put it out. But that's it.
Absolutely floats right on it, isn't it?
Yeah, right, bang in the because I've got a big pellet on there. So that's the first thing they can see is that big pellet of all them little ones. Of course, if they're greedy, they just want the biggest pellet they can find, don't they? So I sat there 10 minutes on that bite waiting for that, and it just went straight under.
So you can actually see that the delicate presentation of using the pole for float fishing like this, that cup that puts the ground bait in that's fixed to the pole is literally, as Ray says, half a dinner plate away from the float. That's the accuracy, that it can give you. And of course, cold water conditions, still conditions like this are ideal for float fishing for anybody, even more so if you're a matchman. And that's why so much success is really enjoyed in matches by pole fishing techniques. Here's a couple of guys out in the boat. I imagine they're predator fishing up there in what's called the jungle end, probably fishing for the pike or zander that are in there. I think it's probably better for zander at the night for the couple of trips I've had there. But it wasn't just that, it was a beautiful cold day really, and these guys were lucky sitting over in the sunshine there. I think there were a couple of anglers were carp fishing and casting towards the boathouse, and yes indeed they did indeed hook a carp, and I couldn't really see what they were using, but I think it turned into a method feeder. That's what it looked like at the end anyway. And here's somebody been using the feeder rod, casting out a little bit further, and that did at least give me some hope. It showed that maybe the bream moved out from the pole feeding area of, let's say, 12-14 metres, and that puts some, outside. That's the thing with a pole, you cannot cast any further than the length of the pole, so it does in fact have its restrictions. And here we go, there's the couple of young anglers there that were carp fishing earlier on, and they're fishing towards the boathouse with what looked like a method feeder on the line, and they did indeed get hooked up to a really nice carp. There you can just see it. I think it's a method feeder, I'm not sure there. And really nice carp this, I've no idea what it weighed, but good sized carp there that came out. It's off to be, one assumes, photographed, weighed, and of course returned. Well, I think we've all learned a few tips there from that pole fishing technique. The fact that you've got to have really refined presentation and drop your ground bait in a very small tight area, as he said, almost in the size of a dinner plate really, and that's at 14 metres out. Now, you can't do that really with a float, and you can't do it, or certainly not do it with a swim feeder. So when it's cold, when it's tough, try and target your bait exactly over the feed area you're using and not too much feed. And do you know what, I think I could probably stay till about 2052 and I still wouldn't catch any fish today. You never know that I'm going to stay till it's dark and being an all-round angler. You know what I'm doing then? I'm changing over to predator fishing. I'm going to try a bit of zander fishing here. They allegedly come on in the dark, but it's been cold. A lot of rain overnight, they tell me. Blue sky today, blazing blue sky. Freezing cold in this shady area. Temperatures are low. Doesn't look good. There we go guys, so we've dropped that pellet size down and at last got a bream. We've actually saved the blade big time by using those Matchman's tips, and I've got a really nice bream. Let's get on the mat and take a look at it. You'll note by the change of clothing, people, that it's got very, very cold. I'm actually got my sea fishing flotation jacket on, donated to me by Phil Williams. And there is a very nice bream. Pellet just fell out. Hooks out. People, let me just put that camera up for you a bit, guys. Oh, I'm so pleased I've got this flotation on. Oh, yes. A nice, chunky bream. The sun's just gone down. I thought I'd broken my finger with the back winding, churning handles going around. And there it is. What a nice fish. And all because I dropped the size I feel sure, putting the pellet size down. And I got an absolute churner. The trouble is I'm torn between it now. Do I actually go for the zander because it's going to be dark, or do I stick on the bream? I think I'll stick on the bream for a bit more. Totally awesome. There he goes. A winter bream. Brilliant.